Hey everybody, Dan Schinder here at the NAMM Show 2020. Still at the NAMM Show 2020. And while we're recording this, we've got 2 days left to go. I can't believe it. Ron Wikso, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for taking time to join us. Nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, likewise.
I found out through Cindy Goldberg, who made Beekeepers, Women with Rhythm. I was part of that. She said, I went to the premiere, spoke at that in Nashville. She said, have you ever interviewed Ron Wikso? I can't find his interview. I said, no, and I'm ashamed to say I have not. So she said, you got to call him. So here we are.
Well, that was really nice of her. She's a great lady. I've never met her, actually, except we did the interview on over Zoom, online.
Well, she's here. She's part of our team.
Great.
She's one of our correspondents, so you guys got to hook up.
Well, yeah, I got to meet her. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, that was fun being in that movie. I got to see it. It looked great.
Well, she has a brand new iteration of it out that's only 11 minutes long, that's full of a lot of other it's really cool. So she'll tell you about that.
Awesome.
For those around the world that follow Drum Talk TV that might not be familiar with your musical acumen, can you give them a little synopsis of your career?
Yeah, okay.
There's a couple of flash-in-the-pan bands you've played with. They may be...
Well, I was in Foreigner for a number of years, and I played with Cher for a while, and David Lee Roth for 1 year, and I worked with Richie Sambora on his Undiscovered Soul tour. I've known Richie for a long time. When I was in Cher's band, he was dating her, so he used to come and sit in with us all the time. And so then I also worked with Player, which was Baby Come Back, and Randy Meisner from the Eagles, Denny Lane from Wings, and I've been with Greg Raleigh, who is the original Santana keyboard player and lead singer. Journey founder, yeah.
I got to stop.
He was also the original lead singer for Journey, but a lot of people don't know that. And he's one of only 23 people, this is a little known fact, one of only 23 people to have been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame more than once.
That's true.
Because he's in with Santana and Journey.
Yeah. And back when he started Journey, it was with Ainsley Dunbar on drums. They were a progressive band back then. But when I hear Greg Raleigh and Santana, I think of one of my favorite concert films from 1970 at Tanglewood, and it's Santana with the old school band. It is unbelievable. And my other favorite concert film is Chicago from the same year.
Oh yeah, both great, incredible bands, and cutting edge at the time. That was really like nobody had ever heard what those bands were doing.
It helped shape music for the decades to come. We're still reaping the musical rewards with what we do as musicians from that era.
Yeah, right. And it's and speaking of that era, another band from that era that I've gotten to play with, CCR, which not with Fogerty, but Doug, the original drummer, has asked me to fill in for him on a few occasions, and I actually did a whole tour 1 year when he wasn't able to do it. But that's all going back to all that music, so I've been very lucky. I've had asking about my career, it's been very diverse, And
that's what I was going to say. The reason why I wanted Ron to talk about his career is because it really is a shining example of why we should extend our boundaries and be versatile. Because you talk from David Lee Roth to Cher, to Foreigner. That list you read it off. It's like, really, one drummer? Well, yeah. If you approach the instrument right, this is what the opportunities could be.
I've been, with Greg's stuff, because of the Santana material, we do some of the Santana songs, of course, and we did a record, it's quite a while ago now, called Roots, which really is, and the reason it's called Roots is because it draws on all those Santana influences. So, you have to, as a rock guy, you have to be able to kind of cover that Latin stuff, In fact, when I first met Greg, I was replacing Steve Smith in a band called The Storm.
Oh,
yeah. And that was with Ross Valerie, who's the bass player from Journey also. So,
by the way, how many bands can Greg boot Steve Smith out of?
I don't think he's responsible for booting him out of Journey. He was long gone from Journey when all that happened.
I'm kidding.
But
so being the puppet master, though, who knows?
So in that audition, when I first auditioned for The Storm, one of the songs was Black Magic Woman, and there was no percussionist, so I had to kind of
cover it all.
Kind of approximate that whole thing, And so that was one thing that one of the reasons Greg liked me, because I at least had a way to, you know, interpret that. I wasn't just a rock drummer, you know.
That's great. I would love someday to do, and more than once, this is always an open invitation. I would love to do an in-depth interview with you, whether in person or online. I have a special video thing online. And really start from, this is when I wanted to play drums. That first spark, leading all the way up to what you'd like to do that you haven't done yet. I'd love to do something like that with you.
That'd be the thing I want to do.
That would be good.
I think that's sewn up, though. Abe's got that sewn up.
I think there's a long line for that, too.
Yeah. I'm way down in the end of the line somewhere.
I was going to say, there's a lot of space behind me because I'm pretty much last.
Yeah, everybody in the world wants to play with him. And of course, why not, you know?
Real quick, a little tease for your in-depth interview. Who's either the first thing that comes to mind when I ask your first influence or your biggest influence, other than me?
Oh, wow. That's really hard. The first thing that comes to mind are several people, you know. John Bonham, Buddy Rich, Ringo Starr, you know. And then as I started to progress and kind of get into the business, it was Vinnie Colaiuta and Steve Gadd, and you know, I mean, all the guys.
Your tastes expand.
Yeah, Steve Smith. You know, I went to Berkeley for a year, only 1 year, so you know that kind of gave me. And I had a drum teacher when I was younger that sort of hit me to a lot of the jazz stuff. You know, because all my friends, it was all, you know, Zeppelin and the Who and the Allman Brothers. You know, back then. But I started listening to, you know, jazz stuff too. So I kind of always had that wider palette, I guess you could say, you know. And there's other guys like that, you know, like Greg Bissonette has been really successful at that.
Yeah.
Greg is actually the guy who recommended me for David Lee Roth's band. I've known him since I've known Greg since the mid-'80s, and I work a lot with his brother Matt, you know. We do sessions together online, you know.
And you said Dave Chappelle's band.
No, David Lee Roth. Dave Chappelle, I'd love to play with him.
Yeah, I would too.
He's hilarious, that guy.
You know it would be chill.
Oh, yeah. yeah.
So we'll set up something,
Okay.
maybe February, March, whenever it's good for you, and we'll do that. I really appreciate you taking time to join me here.
Thanks.
I know it's always crazy, and it's nice to finally meet you, like I said.
Likewise, and hello to everyone out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for joining Ron and myself here on Drum Talk TV at the 2020, I can't even say it, the 2020 NAMM show. Can you believe it? See you soon.